In a groundbreaking discovery, astronomers, utilizing NASA's James Webb Space Telescope, have detected a distant exoplanet potentially cloaked entirely by a vast ocean of water. This finding marks a significant leap in the exploration of habitable conditions beyond Earth. The observations, facilitated by the JWST, unveiled the presence of water vapor, along with chemical signatures of methane and carbon dioxide, within the atmosphere of the planet. Researchers from the University of Cambridge suggested that this chemical composition indicates a water world scenario where the ocean blankets the entire surface, coupled with a hydrogen-rich atmosphere. The researchers leading the analysis speculated on the extreme conditions of the exoplanet's ocean, stating that the ocean could be upwards of 100 degrees Celsius or more. However, the habitability of such an environment remains uncertain. Debates arise from another team's additional observations of the same exoplanet, challenging the proposed scenario. They argue that the planet's temperature might be too high for liquid water to exist, estimating that it could reach a staggering 4,000 degrees Celsius. By analyzing starlight filtered through exoplanet atmospheres, astronomers can discern detailed chemical compositions, shedding light on potential habitability. The absence of ammonia in the atmosphere of TOI 270d supports the high CO2 ocean world hypothesis, suggesting an ocean beneath a high hydrogen-rich atmosphere. However, further observations are needed to ascertain the abundance of water vapor and clarify the likelihood of an oceanic expanse. The temperature is too warm for water to be liquid, and the atmosphere appears to contain substantial amounts of water vapor, too much for the existence of an ocean to be plausible. At the surface, temperatures could reach 4,000 degrees Celsius, with water existing in a supercritical state where the distinction between a liquid and gas becomes blurred. It's almost like a thick, hot fluid. Spectra of these small planets with JWST are really exciting because these are brand new environments for which we have no solar system equivalent. While the search for extraterrestrial life remains ongoing, scientists caution against premature conclusions. We need to be extremely careful about how we communicate findings on this kind of object. Further observations to pin down the abundance of water vapor in the atmosphere would help clarify the likelihood of an ocean. This is not the first exoplanet James Webb has found which shows signs of water. To date, we've discovered more than 5,000 exoplanets, and the numbers continue to rise. Of these, plenty have been confirmed to be habitable. Inhabited? None of them as of yet, but a recent discovery made by the James Webb Telescope could reform practically everything we know about life elsewhere in the universe. This is how NASA's James Webb Telescope just made the astonishing first ever potential discovery of extraterrestrial life on an exoplanet. The James Webb Space Telescope has been doing some serious science ever since it started operating and sent back the first ever set of images about a year ago. JWST had been predominantly peering out into the deepest reaches of the cosmos in search of clues about how the early universe formed. But one of the telescope's secondary objectives is to study the atmospheres of nearby exoplanets, or planets beyond the solar system, to look for gases produced by life, known as biosignatures, and chemicals produced by advanced alien civilizations, known as technosignatures. There's no sign of life that can go unnoticed on James Webb's watch. Webb can't help us look for alien radio signals because it's an infrared telescope, not a radio one. But it could be an excellent tool for finding really dramatic technosignatures, like Dyson Spheres, which are planet-sized ways to capture a star's energy. It could be used to get a closer look at star systems where something unusual seems to be happening. Or it could be used to study the atmospheres of distant exoplanets to look for biosignatures that are produced by living creatures. In a groundbreaking discovery, NASA's James Webb Space Telescope may have now spotted signs of extraterrestrial life on a faraway planet that is 8.6 times the size of Earth, positioned 120 light-years away in the constellation Leo. K2-18b orbits a cool dwarf star within what is known as the habitable zone, with a size falling between Earth and Neptune. Scientists are calling it a sub-Neptune type world, and so K2-18b defies any comparison with planets in our solar system. Although this kind of planet does not exist in our solar system, sub-Neptunes are the most common type of planet known so far in the galaxy. But the absence of similar planets within our solar system means sub-Neptunes are poorly understood and is a hot topic of discussion among astronomers. Nevertheless, given the abundance of sub-Neptune bodies in the universe, astronomers have always believed these giant exoplanets could be promising targets in the search for extraterrestrial life. Now, what is this sign of life we found? A molecule called dimethyl sulfide DMS, which is exclusively produced by living organisms on Earth, specifically by phytoplankton in water bodies. With speculations already being rife that K2-18 is a giant ocean whirl or a high CO2 whirl, things are about to get interesting. Along with DMS, researchers also detected the presence of other biosignatures, carbon-bearing molecules, including methane and carbon dioxide, in the exoplanet's atmosphere. According to NASA, the presence of these gases suggests K2-18 could be a high CO2 whirl, potentially possessing a hydrogen-rich atmosphere and ocean-covered surface, significantly boosting its odds of hosting life. More data will be needed to confirm these findings. However, researchers said they were shocked by the initial results, and the possibility that K2-18 is the one to offer the first ever confirmation of extraterrestrial life. On Earth, DMS is only produced by life. The bulk of it in Earth's atmosphere is emitted from phytoplankton, as we said earlier. If this discovery is confirmed, this news would be a huge deal, bigger than it already is. Traditionally, the search for life on exoplanets has focused primarily on smaller rocky planets. But the larger high CO2 worlds are significantly more conducive to atmospheric observations. Many scientists have begun increasingly considering the diverse ways extraterrestrial life might exist. A theory proposed by astrobiologists Dr. Dirk Schulze-Makuch echoes this sentiment. It's believed that NASA's historic Viking missions in the 1970s actually found extraterrestrial life on Mars, and then proceeded to exterminate it by introducing Earth-like conditions in the experiments conducted by Viking landers. Scientists missed the evidence, or worse yet, unintentionally exterminated Martian microbes that had adapted to the planet's dry climate, which is to say that we need to consider the possibility that life can spawn in conditions vastly different from that of Earth. Researchers say this potentially momentous discovery of alien life on K2-18 was only possible thanks to the James Webb Space Telescope's remarkable abilities. Take a look at this image. It shows methane and carbon dioxide in the exoplanet's atmosphere, as well as a possible detection of dimethyl sulfide. However, researchers are treating this initial data supporting the presence of life on K2-18 with caution. A similar claim made in 2020 about the existence of phosphine on Venus was later disputed. Only further analysis, targeted to be conducted by next year,